Hi, I'm Phoenix Carnevale and welcome to At the Watt. Today we're at the Watt and we're interviewing Frankie Edgar, the UFC Light Weight Champion. Frankie, welcome to the Watt.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You drive all the way here from New Jersey to work with Phil. Why is that?
Phil, I've been with Phil for about 2 years now, and the drive's worth it for sure. All the little tricks and just his philosophies and the type of person he is, it's well worth a trip.
What makes you decide to choose a particular coach? I mean, you have such an entourage of people that you work with. How does everybody come together?
It started out, I had my box coach pretty much since I started training. I started training with Renzo Gracie, Ricardo Almeida team. Training Hamilton and Ricardo's on a daily basis, and then right before the BJ fight, we decided to look Phil up. Me and George actually had the same management at the time, and came up here, started working with Phil.
You had mentioned that at first you didn't think that Frankie could beat him, and then after one session, Frankie changed your mind. What did he do?
As a trainer, I move around with my fighters. The day when he came in, I was like, okay, we'll just move around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was fighting him. And some of the things that I saw they were so natural of his own ability that I knew I could enhance those. And when I just tweaked a few of them, he had it in seconds. I'm like, okay, just do this a little bit more like this, do this a little bit better like that. And he, straight away, he was like a sponge, he was on it.
I don't know if what I did in particularly anything great or anything, but I guess Phil has an eye for that. Obviously training some of the best guys, in our sport and in Muay Thai. So I guess he's seen something. I'm always a hard worker. I'm a good listener. I'm the type of guy, if I'm in there and Phil says to do something, I'm going to do it.
Developing trust with your coaches is a really, really big deal. How do you know that these are the people that you can trust?
Just by working with them on a daily basis. I see the passion that they have for the sport and for my success. So, I know when you're in there, there's a lot of things that I can't see that the guys on the outside can. So, I chose to work with them for a reason. So when they say something, I'm going to do it because I believe in them.
Frankie is considered an underdog for every single fight so far.
He's quiet. He's a humble person. And I think people underestimate that. I've had that, trust me, I've had that kind of kindness for weakness thing. And probably that's how me and him feed so strong. So it's like, yeah, people always underestimate us. Okay, we'll show them. After
the first round, when you go back into your corner, how do you guys change up the strategy? When does Phil step in? When do the other coaches step in?
Mark, my boxing coach, I guess you'd say, he's pretty much controlling the corner between him and Ricardo, and then Phil. I believe they all say what they got to say before I get to the cage. When I get to the cage, you only have one guy in there, especially when I'm bleeding. The other cut man's in there, so I don't get two guys in the cage at one time. So I think it all kind of gets funneled through Mark. Mark relays what everybody had to say in between, and then we make the certain adjustments, and I got to apply them.
Phil was a very traditional Thai boxing champion. He also has a boxing background as well. You have very good hands. Sometimes I look at you and you look like a boxer to me for a split second. How does he mix up the kicking with your hands?
Yeah, Phil, just because he has that boxing background, and it's kind of effortless for him. It's not like he's trying to have me do one thing or another. It's how he shows it. I'm kind of like I'm a video game. He's he's got the controls. It's the way he teaches. Everything flows. From the boxing to the kicking into takedowns. We drill takedowns here too. That's, you're not going to see many Muay Thai coaches doing that.
No. Would you recommend Phil to other people?
Absolutely. Just his track record and the person he is speaks for itself. That's just his demeanor. He's very zen-like. So. For me, that's great. I got some coaches that are more like type A type guys, and then I have Phil. It kind of perfect balance for me.